This morning, let's explore the parable of the arrow. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi. This is the Lama you are looking for. This morning, we could chant and meditate and enjoy a lesson or two, but first, if you love Star Wars and you wish to meditate as transformatively as Luke Skywalker learned to do on Dagobah under the guidance of Yoda, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. If at any point during this morning's live stream you have a question about meditation or philosophy or even chanting, there is no need to be shy. Simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. Unless, of course, you're watching a replay, then you'll want to type your question in the comment area below the video. Let's begin by chanting the parable of the arrow. A man approached the Blessed One and wanted to have all his philosophical questions answered before he would practice. In response, the Buddha said, "It is as if a man had been wounded by a poisoned arrow, and when attended to by a physician were to say, 'I will not allow you to remove this arrow until I have learned the caste, the occupation, the birthplace, and the motivation of the person who wounded me,' that man would die before having learned all this. In exactly the same way, anyone who should say, 'I will not follow the teaching of the Blessed One,' until the Blessed One has explained all the various truths of the world, that person would die before the Buddha had explained all this." Now, this passage could really be abused. And people could prance about insisting that you just do as they say blindly, and everything will take care of itself. And I've walked that path, and I didn't get good results with that type of worldview. And so, like most things Buddhist, there's a balance. There's a balance between assuming no responsibility for your journey and being completely controlling on your journey. And so, as with most quandaries about extremes, I feel the solution is to meditate in such a manner that generates a strong experience of centered spontaneity, where our choices, utterances, and deeds flow in the most wonderful way. That's how we know. So if we're with someone and it's just making our red flags go off, then at that time they may not be the teacher for us. There was several times in my life where I ignored the red flags out of fear that my spiritual needs were not going to get met unless I endured those who were causing me to raise the red flags. And true, enduring people who made my red flags go off, I learned a lot, but I also suffered a lot. And I wonder if I would have honored my red flags if I still would have learned, but in a more sustainable way. Before we start practicing this morning, I would like to take approximately 15 seconds for housekeeping. If there are lessons, I'm getting chant happy right now. If there are lessons you'd like to request, or you simply wish to support the continued availability of these classes, there is a Patreon link in the description area below the video. So what I'd like to do is play with a new practice text. So I'm going to take a moment to select it using the software streaming software I'm playing with. There it is. Easy kindness. Okay, let's give this bad boy a shot. So in all truthfulness, when I play with each mantra has its own flavor and its own consequences. And when I play with this mantra, I typically have, for want of a better term, a bad trip. I experience anxiety. And last night, after merely writing this practice text, I had just very juvenile fantasies about monsters. And my first thought was, hey, maybe this just isn't for me. But then the second thought is, hey, maybe this is some stuff I need to work through. Because I'll tell you something really vulnerable and sad and ugly. There are monsters. And they might not look like something created by, who's the guy? John Carpenter. They often look like humans, but they can still do monstrous things. And perhaps this is just an opportunity for me to make peace with the vast ocean of terror I was raised with. I'm not sure. I'm going to continue experimenting and report the results. It's kind of fun that after multiple decades, there's still so much to learn. Let's chant. Kind Lama, please come to the crown of this head with each recitation of the six syllable mantra. May I liberate all beings through mastery of the Eightfold Path. With each recitation of the six syllable mantra. May I rely upon the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. With each recitation of the six syllable mantra. Kind Lama, may I regret the harm Take two. Kind Lama, may I regret the harm I've done and resolve to do the right thing. With each recitation of the six syllable mantra. So let's replace the word right with the right word kind. And of course, to do that, it would be best if I first went to the beginning and hit File, Save As. And let's see, this is the 17th, and it's a Friday. So let's rename this 17feb23A. And let's insert that over here as well. And there's a high probability the screen's going completely bonkers right now. Control G, and 6, oh come on now. And let's now make sure the screen is, the display is aligned. Thank you for your patience. Kind Lama, may I regret the harm I've done and resolve to do the kind thing. With each recitation of the six syllable mantra. May I enthusiastically share, take two. May I enthusiastically share with all beings all my wisdom, love, health, and possessions. With each recitation of the six syllable mantra. Kind Lama, please blend with this mind. With each recitation of the six syllable mantra. So let's read it, select a passage now. Let's read a few passages from the Heart Treasure of the Enlightened Ones. So to do that, let's see. One moment. I get to open up another text. Fabulous. Whoops, that was a boo-boo. Okay, let's try that again. I see what happened. Okay, so let's go back to Diamond Mind. Okay, and hit File, Save As. And let's go to Chin Musik, let's go to Kind Eyes. Is it Shastra? Let's go to the year, which is 2023. And the month, which is A02 space February 23. The cluster, which is 1/6 through 20th days. The specific day, which is the 17th, Friday. Okay. And now let's put up 1/7. Now I get to go back and realign the display. Thank you for your patience, by the way. So what's today? Today is Friday, so let's go to 219, Control G, 219. Okay. Insert, pictures, Music with Amitabha, this bad boy right here. Okay. And copy and tally ho. To recognize all phenomena as being is not graspable, as a vast and devoid is a crucial point of the view. Belief in the graspability of so-called true and false is liberated into its own non-graspable nature. Free of the tyranny of grasping everything there is, all of dreaded samsara and desired nirvana is like the continuum of the Dharmakaya's mastery of awareness and letting go. In the self-liberation of thoughts, recite the six-syllable mantra. Do not follow after the object of hatred, watch the angry mind. Anger liberated by itself as it arises is the clear void. The clear void is none other than like mirror, like wisdom. In the self-liberation of hatred, recite the six-syllable mantra. Do not chase after the object of pride, watch the self-clinging mind. Self-importance liberated by itself as it arises is primordial voidness. This primordial voidness is none other than the wisdom of essential sameness. In the self-liberation of pride, recite the six-syllable mantra. Do not hanker after the object of desire, watch the craving mind. Desire liberated by itself as it arises is bliss void. This bliss void is none other than discerning wisdom. In the self-liberation of desire recite the six-syllable mantra. Do not follow after the object of jealousy, watch the critical mind. Whoops, that's on me, folks, my bad. Sorry about that confusion. Okay, let's fix that bad boy. I'm going to hit button 14, and I'm going to adjust the streaming software, and there it is. Okay, thank you for your patience. I do apologize for the stupidity on my part. This wood intellect is none other than accomplishing wisdom. In the self-liberation of jealousy, recite the six-syllable mantra. Do not just take for granted ideas forged by confusion. Look at the nature of competing and clinging themselves. The host of thoughts liberated by themselves as they arise or awareness void. This awareness void is none other than the wisdom of the absolute expanse. In the self-liberation of competing and clinging, recite the six-syllable mantra. Excellent. Now let's return to the practice text. I'm going to tap button 9. Welcome to mantra meditation or mantra contemplation. We're going to do our first 4 exercises are going to deal with love. Now we're going to, because this is tantra, we're going to, our loving wishes are going to be figurative. Now there is potential for confusion there, so why do we work with confusing figurative language? Because all vertebrate life on this planet evolved to think symbolically. So we're going to wish that each being possess the wisdom of a real or imagined Buddha, whose mind is symbolized by a one-syllable mantra. That one-syllable mantra is known as a seed mantra or a bija mantra if you prefer Sanskrit. So we're taking that complex thought and compressing it down to just one line. Bija wise for all minds. During our inhalation, we're going to wish this, and we don't have to emote or believe or visualize. If all we do is silently and mentally recite these words in harmony with our inhalation, that'll be enough. The real magic is in physically relaxing as best we can while chanting the six-syllable mantra. If you can chant it 8 times per breath, that's great. But remember to be kind to yourself and give yourself permission to have a learning curve. Mani mimi ungo 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 mani mimi. We're going to continue with love, but we're going to change the focus of love to love. We're going to wish that all beings' experience of the interpersonal now be as loving as the communication style typified by a real or imagined Buddha, which is symbolized by mantra. Om mani mimi 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 Om mani mimi. One of the things I love about Buddhism is we not only pray for people's spiritual needs, we also wish good things for their corporeal needs. that's structured because the Buddha was fond of the idea of the 4 bases of mindfulness, which could be translated as mind, one's experience of mind, the interpersonal, their body, and their circumstance. So we're going to wish everybody, that all beings of all worlds, real or imagined, now enjoy the perfect health of a real or imagined Buddha, or a real or imagined archetype of enlightenment. A Tibetan word for archetype of enlightenment could be yadam. So this person right here is the archetype of enlightened compassion, known in Sanskrit as Avalokiteshvara, known in Tibetan as Chenre Zig, known in English as kind eyes or kind gaze. It's a mistake to squander time and energy believing this is a real entity and praying to it like a god or a parent. It's far better to embrace this idea, this archetype, as a collection of metaphors and similes that aid us in our mantra meditation, like we're doing right now. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. So we see the same archetype, but this piece of art is focusing also on their paradise, real or imagined. We're going to use that paradise as a metaphor for optimal beneficial circumstances. That is sometimes referred to in Sanskrit as a vati, which translates literally as a pure land and figuratively as a paradise. And so we're going to wish that all beings' circumstances be as beneficial or as fortunate as a Buddha's real or imagined paradise. Let's play with this right now. So this really isn't prayer, this is just intention. That is surfing the energetic wave that we're generating with our recitation of the mantra. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Fabulous. We're going to switch gears now from love, which is the second fold of the Eightfold Path, to letting go, which is the first fold of the Eightfold Path. So we're going to begin with the idea, the past idea we played with just a few seconds ago of a Buddha's pure land or paradise. And imagine if it was comprised only of light. It could be appearing yet non-graspable. And so that is what we're going to contemplate right now. How could let's rephrase this. No, let's not. How could all circumstances appear, and yet when I relax into the 6-syllable mantra, they could feel as if they were as non-graspable as a paradise, comprised only of light? Let's play with this right now. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Returning to our image of the archetype of enlightened compassion, we can play with the rhetorical question. How could, and we could rhetorically ponder, how is it that although we can feel bodies, as we relax into the 6-syllable mantra, those exact same bodies could feel as if they were as non-graspable as a Buddha's real or imagined body comprised only of light. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Let us rhetorically contemplate how odd it is that although we can hear communication, which is the bedrock of our experience of the interpersonal, as we relax into the 6-syllable mantra, all the trappings of the interpersonal that we perceive could feel as if they were as non-graspable as a real or imagined mantra comprised only of light. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Let us rhetorically contemplate how odd it is that although all beings' minds can be perceived rather clearly. We can perceive people's minds, perceptions, and intentions, emotions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings can be perceived clearly. And yet as we relax into the recitation of the 6-syllable mantra, it could feel as if it was as non-graspable as a real or imagined syllable comprised only of light. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. We're now going to contemplate the 5 aggregates. During the first breath, we're going to relax into the awareness of our bodies. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. And now we're going to relax into the awareness of our feelings of pleasure, pain, or neither. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Now, if feelings would be like asking, hey, what channel are we watching on YouTube? Then appraisal could be like asking, what volume is that channel playing at? Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. We're going to get more into impulses in just a few moments, but fundamentally, impulses are our survival drives to shove or reach, or compete or cling. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. And awareness is so if form, feeling, appraisal, and impulses were playing volleyball, then awareness would be the volleyball, I don't know what you call it, pitch upon which they play. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. So as promised, we're going to take a deeper dive into the 5 impulses or poisons. So the great irony is that when we notice hating as we breathe in, and then relax into hating as we recite the mantra, hating transforms into mirror-like wisdom, which is quite dandy. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. When we observe craving as we breathe in, and then relax into the six-syllable mantra, it transforms into discerning wisdom. Om mani mimi yung 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 om mani mimi yung. As we observe dullness or confusion or befuddlement as we breathe in, once we begin relaxing into the six-syllable mantra, it transforms into the wisdom of the basic space of phenomena. Om mani mimi yung 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 om mani mimi yung. Vying is just a fancy word for competing. And as we observe our competitive tendencies as we breathe in, something strange happens, because once we begin relaxing into the six-syllable mantra during our exhalation, this exact same vying could transform into all-accomplishing wisdom. Om mani mimi yung 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 om mani mimi yung. Delightfully, although we might notice clinging as we breathe in, once we relax into the recitation of the six-syllable mantra, this exact same mental poison could transform into the wisdom of equality, or the equalizing wisdom. Om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung. Let us now contemplate the 5 coarser functions of mind, beginning with intentions. Om mani mimi yung 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 om mani mimi yung. Let us relax into the awareness of emotion. Om mani mimi yung 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 om mani mimi yung. Let us relax into the awareness of cognition. There's a fancy word, don't you think? Om mani mimi yung 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 om mani mimi yung. Let us relax into the awareness of our recollections. Om mani mimi yung 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 om mani mimi yung. Let us relax into the awareness of these imaginings. Om mani mimi yung 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 om mani mimi yung. Now let us contemplate the 5 subtle functions of mind. Let's relax into the awareness of these scents. Om mani mimi yung 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 om mani mimi yung. Let us relax into the awareness of these flavors. Omani bimi yung 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 omani bimi hum. Let's relax into the awareness of these sensations. Omani bimi yung 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 omani bimi hum. Let's relax into the awareness of these sounds. Omani bimi yung 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 omani bimi hum. Let's relax into the awareness of these sights. Omani bimi yung 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 omani bimi hum. Let us return to love. Omani bimi yung 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 omani bimi hum. Omani bimi yung 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 omani bimi hum. Omani bimi yung 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 omani bimi hum. Omani bimi yung omani bimi yung oopsie, I got a little excited there. Let's move on now. Omani bimi yung 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 omani bimi hum. And for our four last exercises of mantra meditation, let us use let's use melting as a metaphor of impermanence, which acts as an antidote to our clinging tendencies. And let's use absorption as a metaphor of interdependence, which seeks to antidote our competitive tendencies. Let us contemplate how all circumstances can melt into rainbow light that now absorbs into our body. Omani bimi yung 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 omani bimi hum. Let us now contemplate the absurdity of all bodies, of all beings, of all worlds, real or imagined, blissfully melting into a rainbow light that absorbs into our speech. Omani bimi yung 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 omani bimi hum. Let us play with the idea of all communication, both verbal and nonverbal, of all beings everywhere, real and imagined, blissfully melting into rainbow light that now absorbs into our minds. Umani mimi yung 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 umani mimi hum. Let us play with the notion of all minds, of all beings, of all worlds, real or imagined, blissfully melting into rainbow light that now absorbs into a vast, empty void. Umani mimi yung 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 umani mimi hum. May all the harm of modern non-humans and so forth be overcome. May they become non-existent. May they be pacified. May they be thoroughly pacified. So let's play with four contemplations, one per breath, followed by 12 or 13 repetitions of the basic contemplation. Notice this relaxing. Welcome aboard. Remember, if you have any questions about meditation or philosophy, be sure to type them into the chat window. I'm going to take a moment to slide the azophil underneath my tuchus. Whew. Got confused. let us seal our practice with a wee bit of chanting. May all kinds of interferences, diseases, and possessing spirits be pacified. May I be separated from unfavorable conditions, and may I experience favorable conditions and everything excellent. This would be easier to chant, I think, if I broke up the breaths. May all kinds of interferences, diseases, and possessing spirits be pacified. May I be separated from unfavorable conditions, and may I experience favorable conditions and everything excellent. Through this fortune may there be at this time happiness and health. May all beings practice of kind communication, conduct, and calmness flow spontaneous and uncontrived. May each being take auspicious rebirth, complete the Buddhist path, and then help all others do likewise. May everyone be free from stress, may everyone be happy, may no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging freed. If you feel I've earned it, please give this live stream a thumbs up. Type something in the chat window and share it on social media. In approximately 10.5 hours, we could explore concentration, distraction, and mindfulness, as well as chant and meditate some more. Until then, may you and yours be happy and healthy. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.